Founded in 2016, Clobotics is a leading AI solution company for retail and wind power sectors. At its core, Clobotics is a computer vision company that uses the latest AI technologies for data collection and analysis. In retail, customers use Clobotics services for store observation, shelf management, and pricing. In the wind power sector, Clobotics has developed a platform that can help its customers automate dangerous processes in inspection and repair. With its headquarters in Shanghai, a research and development center in Seattle, and an Asia-Pacific sales center in Singapore, Clobotics is a global company that works with some of the biggest companies in the Fortune 500 and has a strong presence in main markets worldwide.
My name is George Yan. I'm the CEO at Clobotics. Clobotics is a ESG AI company. It's a rare combination of both. So Clobotics is a made-up word. There has 3 parts to it. Cloud is the first piece. The second part is on robotics. The third part is on the analytics side. So when you put the 3 pieces together, you come out with Clobotics. We believe that all the technology that we build needs to be very specific into certain industries. And the technology that we are going to give to our customer needs to have a bigger ESG impact for them. And really the technology are breaking down to a few components. The hardware piece that we think that we need to go build extremely good in order for it to scale into the industry, and also the software and AI component. It's truly based on our own computer vision technology that we can take a lot of the manual labor out of the current industries so that we can make it more digital for the services that we provide. And the last part is on the analytics piece where we extrapolate the data and really process and understand the data so we can give better insights to our customers in these industries for them to do more with their current technology in the business. So if you look at our computer vision stack, it's the fundamental framework can be applied to both retail and also wind and maybe solar and other industries. It's really about just capturing the data and able to process the data and use a more of a uniform model to able to process in a very effective manner, but you have to go scale it nicely. And once you have that, the analytics you get, you have to find experts in the industries who really understands that data, right? Once you groom that data, then a customer will respond and how we can scale their business. So really we believe that the framework and the fundamental technology are quite similar actually in multiple different industries. And the reason that we actually picked 2 different industries is to prove that point, to say the technology can be very common across different areas. The more insights that you have in these industries will enable you to better use that technology to apply for multiple industries. Our product in the retail side is really in-store observation, right? So imagine a beverage company that has more than 200 different SKUs, wants to push it out to all of their stores, right? They have a relationship with. Once they do that, they want their people to go back and check to say, okay, are the product really on the shelf? Are the product really stocked in the fridge? Right? Do they really have the right point of interest for the customer to come by and take a look at it? So all these things previously are done manually. We think a lot of things can be done via digital and technology, via computer vision. Essentially, if we can able to digitalize a store, right, have a digital footprint of the store, we can open up that a digital footprint to the beverage company or the other snack companies for them to take a better view into what that store looks like, and they get the massive amount of data that they can do better analytics from, right? So we think that this is a very important path, both from a maturing, developed country like United States, but even more so for emerging countries in Southeast Asia. So previously, these guys going to stores would take anywhere from 30 to an hour taking pictures and writing down surveys and understanding where their product is. Now with our product, where you can basically take a picture of the shelf and all the pictures will get stitched together. So basically a planogram of a stitched image of the shelf, of the display, of the cooler. And we will do all the work in the back end to recognize the products, recognize the competitor products, and put all that together in real time for our customer. Right? So that cuts down significantly the time that he needs to spend in the store, from 20 to 30 minutes or so, down to 5 minutes. building that efficiency for our customers on a daily basis is pretty exciting for us. And the data that the headquarter and corporate gets for them to mine and to understand how their products are faring in these countries are just gold. There isn't a place with a second copy of that data anywhere, right? So having that information is super valuable for them to understand where's the direction they're going to go with their business. So in the wind industry, we have built this autonomous inspection services for wind. Before we had our product out in the market, literally the engineer will have to have a couple of ropes around his belt and climb up the wind turbine and use a binocular and a mobile phone to look at the defects on the turbine. It's a very strenuous process. As well, it's very dangerous, right? So you will see accidents around the world happening every year. It's a pretty harsh condition to do that type of work. And once we saw that in a couple of the wind farms here in China, we thought there has to be a better way to do this, right? So we said, why not use a drone and we can build autonomous software to make the inspection less than 15 minutes. And with anybody on the ground, with a push of a button, the drone will be able to detect where the wind turbine is and what the blade position is and do the entire inspection. So we set on that journey 4 years ago. So this has been a great path, from helping the traditional industry to understand technology and AI and plus robotics can really help them to digitalize their services. And the inspection is only the tip of the spear for the business to grow forward. Finding the problem is only the first thing, right? Finding the problem, tracking the problem, and understand when is the best time to go fix the problem is the holy grail. Don't stop listening to your customer, right? When they tell you that they have this problem that you're already fixed, 60 or 70% for them, then it's the next problem, right? We didn't just go out and build a repair robot ourselves. Customers said, hey, this is the area that if you want to grow your business, we really need some help there. So going from inspection to repair to that data-driven decision-making is really what the customers in the industry told us. And the more that they talk to us, and the more that we have to keep our ears open and really listening to their problems and build a scalable solution that works not only in China but also globally. So really, it's a jigsaw puzzle, right? Every time that we go and sit down with a customer or I visit a customer, the part of the jigsaw puzzle gets filled. Really, the industry is so vast, and people have different problems, and people look at their part of the business slightly different. So you really have to intake a lot of knowledge from different parties and different parts of that business. And once you do, you start to paint the picture yourself. When we started on the inspection journey in the wind industry, a lot of people said this couldn't be done, right? People said, how do you get a drone to fly autonomously? It has to be manual, right? That the wind blades are so much bigger now, the wind tower is so much higher now. How can you really, have a pair of eyes on the drone that can do this precision, inspection? But we thought that this is something, it's exactly what technology needs to do. To have something on paper to say, all right, are there enough drones available in the market that can do the work that we need? Are there enough cameras out there in the market to do this? Are there enough gimbals out in the market to do this? So when you list down all the technology, you start pieces together, there won't be a place where everything just kind of all lines up saying all the technology 100% ready. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, right? A lot of technologies are only 60, 70% ready, but you say, okay, if I look at the technology trend and the trajectory it's growing, it's going to get there sooner or later, right? So you have to take a leap of faith and get on this journey a little bit earlier. But if you're going to have the early adopter that are listening to you to say, hey, maybe this is something worth trying, especially if that person is from a large company or a large client, then you're going to have this playground, right, for you to try and improve on your technology. And I've been very lucky to have that type of customer always by my side and be able to find that large and early adopter customer, but also with a very 靠谱 engineering team, right? An engineering team that really knows how we can really go scale the product with my CTO also really knows how to build products from 0 to 1, right? So that's milestone delivered to our customer, build their confidence. today, Clobotics do business in all the continents except for Antarctica, right? So we're in 6 continents. We're in more than 40 countries worldwide. And we took a very global view since day one. We said we're a global company. So we had an engineering team in Shanghai, we had an engineering team in Seattle, and we had customers in Asia Pacific, in China, in Japan, in US, and in Brazil, all over the places. At the end of the day, when you serve these large companies, they actually want you to expand with them to different regions, right? If a Fortune 500 company is happy with you in the United States, they want to see how your product will fare in Brazil. They want to see how your product will do in South Africa. So we kind of go with our customer to these regions. And it's a very unique strength that we have that are able to serve these customers across the world. And today, more than half our revenue actually comes from global. And I think that percentage will only increase as we become stronger internationally. For us, steady state, I think it will be a 80-20 split between our revenue size in China versus global. 80% global and 20% in China. We're actually going into a lot of the emerging countries in Southeast Asia. We see that Southeast Asia is a huge blooming area. It has the younger population, right, in places like Indonesia and Malaysia. Also, the region has just been thirsty for newer technology to push them to the next level. And our proximity close enough to Southeast Asia is very helpful for us to have that business over there. So it's a major focus point for us in Southeast Asia in 2023. My career really started at Microsoft, many years, 20-some years ago. I usually joke with people that I bleed blue, right? So it's my color. And I've had the unique opportunity being an engineer at Microsoft, coming to China to build its engineering center, and also building a large part of the Microsoft China business in the later part of my days. And the unique thing that Microsoft was able to offer was giving me the opportunity to build Microsoft cloud platform here in China. My journey with Microsoft startup has been a very personal journey. I was at Microsoft. We started this idea of having startups to be participating in the cloud journey, native cloud companies. Microsoft for Startup came about. Once I started running a startup on my own, then obviously I want to go take advantage of what Microsoft or startups can offer, not only in China, but having China as the center that connecting the world, right? Especially fitting for a company like ours, where a large majority of our business actually comes internationally, right? So having China as a hub, able to build your product and polish your products, using that as a sandbox to grow your customer base. And once you get to that maturity, it's very easy, using the Microsoft network to go broad and go global, and touch into their account teams and the services they would offer. So once we make that connection, our business growth exponentially internationally because of that tie with Microsoft for Startup. So it's really about stepping on the shoulder of a giant gets us to the next stage.